Don't! Wolverine, we are all friends here.
No, you're not my friend.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at the worst video games to use the Marvel license.
Damn it! Splonsky!
You can't stop it, you have to kill it.
Sit your ass down!
Number 20, Marvel's Avengers. You know things are about to get rough when one of the most disappointing superhero games is only at the bottom of the list. While the combat of Marvel's Avengers was fine, nothing to write home about, but relatively inoffensive altogether, it was nearly everything else that dragged it down.
My father asked for a gift to save his dying nation. But the Black Panther said they had no vibranium to give.
The live service structure and monetization didn't belong in something like this, and rubbed almost everyone the wrong way. And even though mechanics were decent, gameplay got repetitive quickly, with little variety in enemy types and mission design. Simply put, it was boring, and a huge letdown for one of pop culture's most recognizable super teams.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is, thank you.
Number 19, Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. Publisher LJN is notorious for having produced some of the worst licensed games. First up, a terrible Spidey and X-Men team-up. Now, it sounds like a great idea, sure, having iconic characters band together to escape deadly obstacles, but then you actually play it. While tons of games at the time were notably hard, this is on another level of unfairly difficult. Enemies shoot from off-screen, and death traps appear out of nowhere. There are even things that will instantly kill you for the slightest mistake. And without any checkpoints, you have to start every single level from the beginning each and every time you die. Run out of lives, and it's back to the beginning of the entire game, which is understandably very, very maddening. Number 18, Iron Man and XO Man-O-War in Heavy Metal. Technically only half a Marvel game, I guess, since XO Man-O-War comes from Valiant Comics. Heavy Metal is still more than earns its inclusion here. The crossover launched on several different platforms, but no matter where you played it, the results weren't good. It featured the most basic gameplay a side-scrolling action game could have, making it extremely repetitive. This was its greatest sin, but it was also both a pain to look at and even listen to. Visuals were poor compared to other games of the time, and the grating soundtrack and sound design would quickly make you want to put the TV on mute. Number 17, Spider-Man: The Sinister Six. While this MS-DOS point-and-click adventure game is mostly forgotten among all the other Spider-Man games out there, it still deserves some ire.
How dare you question my credibility?
I'd love to engage in a formal debate, but I have criminals to catch.
The rotoscope visuals seem nice for the time, but that's as much praise as we can actually give it. Playing the game is painfully dull to say the least. When controlling Peter Parker, you can only talk to people, not move around or examine objects like others in the genre. And when you are talking, it's usually over completely static images that will lull you to sleep. When you're in costume, you're at the mercy of controls and mechanics so janky you'll long for the monotony of the scenes that actually preceded them.
That's sick, even for you, Ock.
Number 16, Marvel's Avengers: Battle for Earth. Another stinker for the Avengers, Battle for Earth was released by Ubisoft in late 2012. The same year, the team made history in the MCU. Needless to say, this was a far cry away from what they achieved on the big screen.
Breaker ready. Breaker.
Released on the Wii U and Xbox 360 Kinect, the fighter poorly utilized motion controls. Combat grew tiring and unfun the longer you played it, and it looked completely awkward on screen, with characters standing in a single spot, only moving forward when you did the right motion. With fights taking place in 3D arenas, it's pretty darn baffling to see Earth's mightiest heroes fight so stiffly.
Hey, I was just getting warmed up.
Number 15, Wolverine. LGN rears its ugly head once again on our list with a truly enraging action platformer starring one of Marvel's most popular mutants. While it isn't as bad as some of the company's other releases, what makes it infuriating is a profound misunderstanding of what would make Wolverine just so fun to play as. You see, whenever you pop his claws, it actually drains your health, and whenever you've defeated enough enemies, you're automatically put into a berserker mode that's incredibly hard to control. Couple all of this with unfair enemy placement, and you've got one heck of a frustrating game. Number 14, X-Men: The Ravages of Apocalypse. Ravages of Apocalypse is a conversion mod of the original Quake, but where that game is fun, this is a chore. You're tasked with defeating evil clones of popular X-Men characters. The weapons you're given to do this with are severely underpowered in comparison to your enemies. I mean, who wants to deal with a slow-firing gun against a healing Wolverine? Or stumble upon Iceman without a fire weapon, the only way to kill him? Or get shot through a wall by Bishop, whose blasts ignore physical barriers? It doesn't help that its maps were completely lifeless, with horrendous layouts, making it easy to get turned around. Number 13, Captain America in the Doom Tube of Dr. Megaloman. We'd like to be more lenient given the time it was released, but heck, even in 1987, people could tell that this was trash. It follows Cap as he navigates the base of the evil Dr. Megaloman, a villain made up for this game alone. Don't know why they couldn't have just used Red Skull, but we'll I guess have to move past it this time. The entire base is essentially one big tube of chambers, hence the name. So every single area you go winds up looking exactly the same, no surprise, and it isn't as if the visuals were strong even by the 1987 standards. Gameplay was also pretty tedious and repetitive, making it a dull slog to experience all around. Number 12, The Incredible Hulk: The Pantheon Saga. Many games have failed to capture what would make the Hulk a fun character to play as in a video game. The Pantheon Saga is one of the worst offenders. Released on the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn, it follows Hulk trying to escape after being captured by the Pantheon Super Team, and it was slammed for basically every single aspect. Repetitive gameplay made it way too easy, as did the shoehorned-in puzzles outside of combat. This added to the boring level design, combining for something completely lifeless all around, an adjective we should never use with the Hulk, let's be honest here. It was also awkward to control and just looked terrible even in 1997. Number 11, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Many movie tie-in games have a reputation for being lazy, and with games like Rise of the Silver Surfer, it's easy to see why. You'd think the developers would have avoided the pitfalls that the first movie's tie-in fell into, but you'd be wrong. It was still a haphazardly thrown together mess. Visuals look like they hadn't been updated from the previous gen, making for ugly character models and some bland environments. But the gameplay, my goodness golly, the gameplay. It's never a good sign when players grow bored mere minutes into your game. As the simplest, most uninspired brawler around at the time, that's exactly what happened with this utter disappointment. Number 10, Spider-Man, 1982.
Try to get up there in time, Spider-Man!
Watch me cut my web, Goblin!
Watch yourself, fools!
There were so many terrible games released on the Atari 2600, along with the likes of E.T., Spider-Man is one of the most notorious. The game isn't anything too complicated, just climb a building and avoid obstacles. Sounds pretty easy, right? Well, not if every little thing is constantly knocking you down. And to make matters worse, the game demands pixel-perfect precision. Also, why wouldn't Spider-Man just climb up the wall instead of webbing his way up? Number 9, Thor God of Thunder. Joining the rest of the horrible movie tie-in games for Marvel is Thor God of Thunder, and sadly it won't be the last. Despite releasing around the same time as the first Thor movie in the MCU, Thor God of Thunder was simply not worthy of wielding the mighty Mjolnir. The game displays some of the most boring combat we've ever seen, lacking any oomph to our hits as well as being just visually dull all around. Mix that in with an assortment of glitches and repetitive gameplay, and God of Thunder will prove disappointing to any fan of Thor.
Sleep, Father. Sleep, and I will do what is necessary. For Asgard. And for Loki.
Number 8, X-Men Destiny.
You've got it. Don't forget to breathe.
This was about as big of a mess as X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Destiny was on a path to be one of 2011's greatest titles, giving players the ability to create their own hero and fight alongside their favorite mutants in a narrative where your decisions actually impact the world. Instead, it became one of 2011's biggest disappointments. The game provided templates for players rather than intricate customization, totally just undercutting the main selling point of the game. As for the combat, well, we hope you like button mashing because really that's all it is. Oh, and the story that supposedly affects your decisions? Well, yeah, it's brutally bad, and your actions are basically just meaningless all around.
Well, it looks like there's another storm coming as bad as what we just faced. Maybe worse. It's good to know we'll have you with us.
Number 7, Silver Surfer. A few goes that this will make you never take a health bar for granted again. Silver Surfer is one of the most unnecessarily demanding games you could ever play. Every level is a literal guessing game of what can and can't kill you. A couple of bullets is understandable, yes, but even the walls are a hazard, which is strange. Basically, this is a game for those who want to experience paranoia. The music may be great, yes, but that is not enough to make us slog through the many game overs that we've endured in this game. Number 6, The Incredible Hulk. Poor Hulk hasn't had a great outing in the world of video games since way back in 2005 with Ultimate Destruction, but the worst of them has to be the 2008 movie tie-in game. The graphics are truly awful and almost hard to look at, but the real problem is in the extremely repetitive combat. Smashing stuff is fun and all, but the game falls into a routine of punch the bad guys, trash the place, roar, and repeat over and over again. There's just no satisfaction in causing destruction in this game, and the game does nothing to actually capitalize on Hulk's ungodly strength. Overall, it's a game that exists solely because of the movie. Number 5, The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Guy I'm after. Unless you had a tattoo removed.
No, man, no. I'm afraid of needles. And heights.
If The Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie didn't disappoint you enough, then its tie-in game certainly will. The graphics aren't as dreadful as the other games on this list, but it's not enough to compensate for its other noticeable flaws. In addition to the unsettling character models, the writing and voice acting is about as cringy and campy as Batman in the 60s, and we don't mean that at all in a good way. What's so disappointing about this was that its predecessor was actually a solid game, especially for a movie tie-in game. With this, you can almost tell things were just sorta cobbled together. Number 4, The Punisher No Mercy. For a character as powerful and fully loaded as the Punisher, you'd think making an awesome video game would probably be a shoo-in. Well, it's been a mixed bag for the guy, but the absolute worst was The Punisher No Mercy. The game was an absolutely boring experience, from the insanely short single-player mode to the lackluster and laggy as heck online mode. The visual presentation was about as lifeless as the Punisher's many victims, and it failed to do anything at all special to distinguish itself from other first-person shooters. As you might expect, fans could not find any reason to stick around.
It's amazing what $10 and a gun will buy you.
Number 3, Fantastic Four. For a long time, superhero games were nothing more than a standard beat-em-up starring your favorite characters. Fantastic Four was one of them, and it was the absolute worst of the bunch. While you can choose between 5 playable characters, you're not going to get any enjoyment at all no matter which one you choose. Pulling off moves takes way too freaking long to actually pull off, and the environments are so lifeless and bland with just a bunch of reused assets. Needless to say, Fantastic Four is miles and miles away from being fantastic, and considering the time it was released in, the same year as Final Fantasy VII and Crash Bandicoot 2, mind you, this one was one of the worst games in 1997. Number 2, Iron Man. The Incredible Hulk wasn't the only superhero movie to get a horrible game. Even Iron Man fell victim to the curse, and it was somehow worse than our green friend. Coupled with bad voice acting and appalling visuals, Iron Man is so easy and tedious that even those looking for a power fantasy will fall asleep from boredom.
All the systems. You may need to watch your energy more closely.
Sit tight. I'll get us out of here.
Every fight is easily conquered with a laser beam and a couple of missiles. You really don't have to be all that accurate to even hit your targets, making each level a breeze to get through. You'll be done before you actually know it, and you'll most likely even forget this one existed.
Pepper, you okay? Pepper? Pepper!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, the Uncanny X-Men. Now, when you think of the X-Men, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Wolverine's sharp claws? Cyclops' heated laser beams? Storm's vicious weather powers? Well, the developers of the Uncanny X-Men imagined a top-down shooter. Yeah, I know, we don't actually get it either. Even by NES standards, the graphics are abysmal, making it hard to discern where you go. As for the multiple playable characters, you're selecting no more than an alternate color palette, as every character plays almost completely identical to each other. So, have you played any of these terrible Marvel games? Are there any other horrid experiences that we left off? Be sure to leave your thoughts and share them down below in the comments.